Hi everyone, Kansi here from Top Serenity Hill, and welcome to all the Junk Journal January friends that are joining us this month as we go through the prompts that at Mag Journals has provided for everyone. What a great collaboration that we have. All the different artists. There are 29 artists, and then Meg is doing one in 31. So today is day 16, and it is the word unfold, and I really wanted to find something that literally unfolded in your journal, like kind of exploded. So I found a great paper folding technique to share with you today. I ran across it a variety of places, but the place that I saw it that I really loved how she did it was Barbara from I think it's 49 Dragonflies. I believe that's her tag here on YouTube, and I really loved what she did with her spread and everything. So just wanted to give a shout out to her for the idea. So just so that we remember is that I'm filming this before obviously January starts so that Meg has all of our videos. So my journal is only been made. I haven't actually worked in it yet, but we're going to add signature number 3 today in my journal. There's a signature here and a signature here, and if you would like to see how I did this, you can find parts 1 and 2 in the description below on how I built this journal out of a paper gift bag. And today I'm going to show you where we're going to do signature number 3, which goes in the, if we're doing this way, in the W, and that's where our unfold is going to happen. Very delighted about that. So what I wanted to show you was, this was the paper technique that I saw, and you literally, it folds, it looks like a little house, and I'm going to show you how to fold it, and then when you open it, it unfolds, and then it folds back up if you hold it to your page. So like if I glue it to the book and I open, it unfolds. Oh my God, delightful. When I saw this, I was like, super, super fun, super easy. So I've already done 2 of them, because what I chose to do with this, instead of just having 1, I wanted to open in 3. If you are around me enough, you know that my favorite number is 3. I tend to do lots of things in 3s. So I wanted to make 3 unfolds as we go. So this is also, this paper is just copy paper that has some watercolor on it. That's all it is. The paper was actually made by some students of mine. So it's also lovely that I get to take some paper that was made by other hands and add it into my junk journal. That's part of, I think, the delight of having a junk journal, is taking things from around you, bits from this person, bits from that person, bits from this part of your life, that part of your life, and aren't even your creative life, like bits that are left over and that you've played with or gone down rabbit holes, and then have all these stuff and you don't know what to do with. Make yourself a junk journal. It's awesome. They all fit. That's the thing about a junk journal, is nothing has to be cohesive if you don't want it. My journals are beyond not cohesive. I like the idea of it being bits of everything, and then I play in it, and it just becomes a really beautiful story of, my creative world and my creative journey. So I have a blue one, a green one, and then I have this pink and yellow one, and this is the one we're going to fold together. The other thing that I have is, because I'm not just doing 1, they won't be glued on this side and this side, I needed an in-between so that I have 1, 2, and 3 folds, because I want to be able to do it as a triple. So this piece of junk mail, again, delightful for junk journaling, came in the mail, and it's a lovely cardstock. I also loved, the pictures. I loved the coloring. Does that not look like Keanu Reeves, people? It's not, because, it's just not. But, I loved everything about it. And so I'm going to use this as the in-between so that I have, and I'm going to attach all 3 of them together. So the first thing, though, that we're going to do is fold our little exploding, unfolding piece of paper. And what you need for this is, you need a square, okay? So it doesn't matter what size your paper is. whatever you're using to make this has to be a square. I just happen to be using a piece of 8.5 by 11 paper, so I'm going to cut it so that it is square. So the other thing, just so that if you're like, how do you make a square if you're not measuring, is that's really easy. You fold the paper over, square, and chop this off, okay? So you can measure, or, whoops, I could just open it. You can measure, or you can just fold and tear, or fold and cut. Whoops, this does not like to cut backwards. And this blade is not nice. It's dying. All right, so now I have my square. Okay, so I have a square. So you're going to do, the first thing is actually what I did already, which was folding it in half as a triangle. Let me grab my, oh, there it is, my bone folder. Okay. And then open and fold in the opposite direction. So you're folding 2 triangles. And I don't make it crazy, you know, if it doesn't work exactly, I don't make myself crazy. In the end, it all works out, okay? So you've got these 4 triangles, and then just take 1/2 and fold it as a rectangle. Okay. All right, so now you have 2 triangles here, 2 small ones, and 2 big ones. All right, so the other thing I also find is if you just quickly fold everything in the opposite direction as well, it will help you in the end. Try not to make any new creases, obviously. But if you fold it in both directions, it tends to help, okay? So I've got my 2 long squares here. I'm going to take these here, and I'm going to pinch, and I'm going to fold them in and lie this down. Okay, so I'll do that again. I've got my big triangles here and my 2 little triangles here, and I'm pinching them in towards each other, like that. All right, and then laying it down, and then you have this triangle, a paper hat. All right. Then I'm going to take these corners and I'm going to fold them to the halfway point. And the halfway point is where you can actually see where your paper is connecting in the center. So I'm going to fold one up and fold the other one. And then do the same thing on the other side. And this time is easy because you have this edge that you can fold against, okay? Just making sure it's lined up on the bottom. Lined up on the bottom, there we go. All right, okay. So then we're gonna open the paper back up, and now we have all these little squares, and we need to fold them back in on themselves, okay? So that you're pinching them here. And it might take a hot minute. This is why I told you to fold it a few times back and forth. So pinched, push them in. So all these little corners are going in. Okay, and then once you have it, that's when you have your little house. Okay, and that's the fold, because now when you hold and you open is where it explodes and unfolds on itself. I keep saying explodes. It unfolds. Let's go with that. All right, so then we have all of our, I have 3 houses. All right, And I want to grab my piece of paper that I'm going to be using as my middle hold for the paper. So it's creating like another, you know, the holding signatures, which we're going to do. So I need to make sure, and these are pretty, they sit within, let me do it on this because it's easier. You can see where it's folded. This definitely sits within the paper, so this doesn't have to be, I don't have to worry too much about this being exactly the right height for this, but similar, okay? Close enough. Since this has a lot of words on the bottom, I'm going to be cutting off the bottom. So let's see, grab a pencil. I want to cut it about there. And also I have to bear in mind that this is not exactly, I'm actually going to do that. This is not exactly square. Like my book is not square. And if you watch the video of me making it, you'll know that because it's a bag. So it's not that I've like squared off the bag. It just is not square. Well, let me grab a smaller cutting. So let me cut this off. Okay, and then the other thing I want to see is, do I want to trim it ever so slightly? Yes, I need to trim it this way as well. And again, I'm going by, it might not be exact. I'm going by what my bag is sitting with. So it's not level, it's not squares where I'm getting with that. Because if I try to cut this square, it's not gonna, well, you know what, I'm gonna cut it so it's the, I am gonna cut it square. I need more off the top than I do off the bottom. But I'd rather it be tucked in than out. So let's just make sure. Yeah, that works fine. And that still sits within that. Okay. All right, so I have my signature that I'm going to attach all my 3 unfolding pages, but I have to attach this into here. So when I did these, I did a pamphlet stitch. Where's the inside? I did a pamphlet stitch, and you can see the 2 black pamphlet stitch strings, linen threads on the outside. I can do the same thing with this one, but I'm going to staple it because I wanted to give you another option to think about how to add signatures or paper into a journal. This is just a single piece going through this. It's not even that much cardboard, or not really cardboard, it's bag and some paper. It's not a lot. So a staple will be just fine. So give yourself some options. Sometimes a staple is just fabulous. And so I'm going to, I have to line it up, and I do want to, where's my clip? This is a lot of unwieldy things happening here, so I want to make sure that it doesn't move when it lies flat. So I have a long arm stapler. If you're wondering how you're stapling that, I have this massive long arm stapler. It's one of those things that I was like, why? How are people doing this? How are they getting that big piece of paper or that journal together with a stapler? And then I realized long arm stapler. And it was one of those purchases that I have never regretted. You'd be shocked how much you use it. All right, so you can run the staple inside or outside. I'm going on the outside. Oop. And I'm just going to put 2 staples in it. Just lining it up to the best of my ability. 1. Oops, I'm going to try not to staple this. That would stink. too. Okay. And I also have a thing about flat staples. I know, what can I say? I don't have a lot of perfectionism things, but I have something about flat staples. So I do like to smush my staples down if I can. All right, so now I have this, and all it took was just a staple, and you can barely see it in here. All right, so that's delightful. Love it. All right. Okay, so now I'm going to glue these down, and this is something where you can decide, you know, do you want them in the color that match? You know, does this blue and green? I kind of think I like this blue. You don't end up seeing a lot of it because you're gluing this down. But, you know, there's a little bit of blue showing through. Do we want it with the blue? Do I not? I think this is going to go here. So I'm going to glue that here, boop, that here, and then this one here. And then I might change my mind, but I don't think so. I'm liking the red with the green. Okay, so I'm going to, let me pull them out. So we'll glue one at a time. So I'm going to glue one down, and then I'm going to put glue and I'm going to close it on itself, all right? And you could use a glue stick, or you can use, I'm using my Art Glitter glue. Boop, 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 boop. All right. Let's see if I can get that somewhat centered. Okay. Open and smush it down. Okay, and then we'll do this one. Right, and then I'm folding this on top. Give that a second to dry. Okay, and then voila, boop, boop, boop. And then you have this fun thing that you can decorate. Ooh, I love that you can still see that through it. So the thing that disappeared was the stars, you know, but you can still see them. So as much as I put the star paper down, there's still it's disappearing, but you can still see peaks of it, which is kind of fun. All right, so it's still there. All right, so I'm going to glue the other two exactly the same. And then you will have your unfolding prompt for day 16. And I hope if you are, obviously if you don't need a full signature to do this, you can just do this on one of the pages in your junk journal, however you have made a junk journal. And it doesn't have to be, you know, that I'm doing a set of 3 and a full signature, and yours doesn't have to be that way. Yours can just be somewhere within the junk journal. Pick a page, fold one beautiful piece of paper that you love, and make it unfold. And then you can start working it. You can start working on it right away as a spread, or you can wait and see as the prompts continue for the rest of the month in January, if there's another prompt that speaks to you that you can use to work on the actual fold out, which, you know, is what I'm going to end up doing. So, because to me, I like to work in small amounts of time. I don't necessarily, you know, I do this for a living. So for me, yes, I do have all day sometimes to work on a project, but one of the things that I teach is that to work in short bursts of time, like 5 minutes, 15 minutes, even a minute. If you have, you could have folded this paper, and that would have took like a minute or two, and then the next day or later in the day you could come back and glue it in your book, and all those little bits of time add up after a while. So yeah, my philosophy is small surfaces. I love a small surface. This to me is a small surface. Simple supplies. You can't get more simple than a junk journal, my friends. It is junk. That's actually in the title. And short bits of time. So simple, short, small. And play, curiosity, fun, delight. Follow the what ifs. Have a good time. All right. And so I hope if that you are joining me from, one of the other videos or from Meg's, collaboration list, and you're new to me, I hope that you'll subscribe and join me here on YouTube. And I put out videos every week. And, oops, I'm just going to close this on itself. Put out videos every week. And I also have a weekly newsletter where I give a lot of inspiration and kind of like creative pep talks and try to get people to, have a really fun creative journey and a fun, playful creative journey. I have a membership if you're new here as well. If you're interested in that, everything I'm talking about is in the description below. And I hope that you'll join me and, continue having a good time with this Junk Journal January. All right, so let's open and see. So, woo! All right, so we've got Explode 1, 2, 3. Oh my God, I can't even tell you how totally fun that is. This one wants to bend the wrong way. Also be careful if it gets stuck. They can get stuck, friends. This one is getting stuck. There we go. Okay. All right. There you have it. Day 16. Unfold. All right. So don't forget to stop by tomorrow and find out who is doing day 17. That would be your Fragile, and join that person on their YouTube channel. And I can't wait to see what they're doing. All right, friends. Thanks so much for being here with me today. See you soon.